Hey, what's up, YouTube? It took me about 11 months to come up with something else to bitch about, but I figured with the Halo campaign Evolved dropping right around the corner, I would go ahead and fire up the old Blue Yeti and complain for a few minutes. So, trying to make YouTube my second income. Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit my OnlyFans, hit the Patreon. So, Halo campaign Evolved drops July 28th. And I wanted to discuss some of the things that have made me so angry I can't sleep. So I grew up playing Halo, obviously, like most people did. Played all the games, thought Halo 2 was the best. I didn't really have that prime Halo 3 multiplayer era that most people did, like that Halo 3 MW2 era. But I did play a lot of Halo 3. Beat all the campaigns, beat them all on Legendary, did the whole shebang. Now, when I first saw the reveal for this, the first thing I thought was no shot, because I'm not a retard, and I think everybody who has a brain is going to look at this and think it's a massive cash grab. Now, I haven't seen enough hatred about it, but I also haven't seen very much support for it, so I don't know what's going to happen. But make no mistake about it, I'm a firm believer that this campaign Evolved is really just a test platform, an engineering platform for whatever engine they're going to put the next Halo game on. I don't know if this is the same engine that Halo Infinite came out on. The art style to me looks a little bit different, and I think there's quite a bit of particle slop in there, which I will elaborate on when we go back and watch these trailers. But yeah, I don't think this is much more than like a cash grab. I guess I don't understand from Microsoft's perspective and Halo Studios and Xbox games, like who the fuck did the marketing on this and thought, you know dude, you know what we need to do? Remaster a game from like 2000. That's after we remastered it once on the Master Chief Collection, and the Master Chief Collection is plagued with chronic issues. Like, I try and play that shit with my friends all the time. We try to do Halo Night. You get kicked out of lobbies that your friends are in. You can't direct join people. The microphone system sucks. Like, the matchmaking's dog shit. And it's a massive pain in the ass for something that is not, I don't think, that big of an engineering feat, right? You're going to port all the games over, and then you're going to kind of work on a matchmaking hub, per se. And even when that game dropped, those were not new concepts. So the fact that they fucked it up so bad and then it's been just kind of wallowing, right? They don't care. Obviously, they don't care. So, but don't worry, because Campaign Evolved has a full price tag of $50, as if that's supposed to be like throwing you a bone, like they took $10 off standard pricing to just play like basically a 4-hour campaign. Okay, there's an achievement, I believe, in CE, the original Halo, where if you beat the whole game in like sub 3 or something like that, or sub 4 hours, like that's not hard to do on anything less than heroic, right? That's even heroic is not, the I would say the difficulty scale ramp between heroic and legendary on Halo games is noticeable, at least on CE. But you're paying $50 for 6 hours. Okay? That to me is fucking insane, right? I don't see any indication that there is any sort of multiplayer or any multiplayer roadmap, for that matter, right? It is, you are paying $50 for a co-op 6-hour campaign on a game that has been out for literally 26 years. Now, to throw that to the side, right? We also have some bullshit cosmetics, because of course we do, right? And if you are chud maxing and you are mouth breathing maxing and you are like a fat fucking slob Marvel fan, and you can justify $70 instead of like feeding your family or something like that, you can get all sorts of cool cosmetics and a pretty mid-ass piss yellow pre-order skin. And a gun that looks like somebody just like went into Paint 3D and just kind of like drew on it, right? Or maybe like Canva. Maybe they use Canva over at Microsoft. That would make a lot of sense. Also, you get a 5-day early access. So like, I don't know, get a job or something, right? And you can see like these cosmetic skins are Fortnite skins, I would say. I mean, this shit looks like it's out of like Halo 5. I don't know what this is. I've always, like, obviously we all played Reach. We played Halo 5, and I say that lightly. And even Halo Infinite, now, years after its release, has some cool skins in it. I don't know what I'm looking at here, right? This, to me, is Halo Campaign Evolved Fortnite Edition. Like, I don't know if the Fortnite analogy is that cringe. You know, I don't know if it's still relevant. I never played Fortnite, but, like, this shit to me is, like, what are we doing, dude? Are we trying to clown on Master Chief? Are we trying to just chudify the franchise? I don't understand, you know, what we're doing. Like, Halo has always been kind of an arcade shooter, but not arcade cartoon and not arcade flamboyant and not over the top, right? This isn't Borderlands. This isn't Overwatch. This is a sci-fi futuristic military game. And even through Halo 5 and some of Halo Infinite's skins, like the skins are kind of lore accurate. You know, and I read a lot of the books and a lot of the attachments and helmet build outs and stuff. Like, it, you know, you can make sense. And you've got the fantasy element of it of like, oh, I wonder what that radio comm does on his helmet. Whatever, right? Generally speaking, though, I think through Halo 5 into Halo Infinite, they stayed pretty true to the universe. Right now, what I'm looking at on the screen is just fucking garbage. And the word pack is on my screen. And I swear to fucking God, if this game has, like, any sort of microtransactions for skins for a 6-hour remastered engineering practice campaign game, I don't think I would ever buy anything branded Halo ever again. I'm not making that accusation. I don't know if that's true or not, but the idea that there's cosmetic skins like this, I mean, there's no way they just said, okay, guys, do 6 skins and then don't do any other ones. And also, we're not going to charge people any money and we're not going to make any profit here, right? I doubt that's the conversation that took place at, you know, Halo Studios. 1, because they're greedy fucking whores. And 2, because that would imply that they have some kind of moral compass that extends beyond just trying to maximize nostalgic-based sales. So, jumping from what I consider to be Fortnite-era marketing garbage, I watched a little bit of these campaign trailers, and for example, like this one is the one that Johnson narrates. I'm not going to play the audio. You can go back and look at it. But the entire trailer is like... I'll jump through here. Like, this feels like a Marvel movie, dude. Like, this, like, it's going for one-liners. Sergeant Johnson does not even look like Sergeant Johnson. The entire world looks AI upscaled. Like, to me, this is a pitch for DLS and sun rays and all that, you know, upscaling bullshit. Like, they're talking like it's a Marvel movie. And the profits don't even sound the same. Dude, like, who thinks that's funny, man? We have to get whatever generation, I don't know if it's the boomers, Gen Z, Gen X, fucking Gen Chud, I don't know what it is. Whoever is sitting around writing these, like, quote-unquote one-liners needs to be eradicated. I think, in Minecraft. Because this is some shit that started up heavy, and when like I keep comparing it to Marvel, this to me feels like Marvel slop, where you're trying so hard to appeal to like your normal NPC fan base that it's almost like you're insulting the consumer by thinking they're too stupid and like dumbing it down. This is like watching like Full House, the remaster, or like watching Reba, or like watching, I don't know if it's Reba or Rita, whatever, the one with the fucking country mom. Like this is some garbage where you have to so blatantly write the jokes and the innuendos into the script that it no longer requires any sort of mental bandwidth to understand or to pay attention. I personally think it's a massive insult to the consumer, but whatever, right? The rest of the trailer, I mean, it's just a cosmetic showcase. All the fucking Covenant have got weird skins, right? Why are the Hunters white? You know, if there's a lore accurate reason for that, I'd be happy to hear it. Personally, I think Master Chief's helmet looks like shit in this entire game. It looks round and bubbly, and, you know, obviously when we were playing CE, the original, and even the Master Chief Collection, like, look, even the show, and the show is terrible, looks more angular and more honest than what I have on my screen right now in this trailer. Now, it's not by much, but this is like an uncanny valley thing. It's like I've looked at Master Chief for 15 years. I know what the Mark V, the Mark IV, like, I have an idea in my head of what that looks like. And we have, again, this to me looks like AI upscaling and smoothing. I don't know how else to explain it. I've used ChatGPT to generate images before. I know that when I take an image and I upload it in ChatGPT and I say create this in ChatGPT, it looks like my image, but smoother. Okay? So this trailer is garbage. 3 new missions. I don't know why we're flying around in fucking space, dude. Like, that mission in Halo Reach wasn't that exceptional. I don't think anybody maybe, you know, wrote home about Sword Base, especially on like the harder difficulties. It was a bitch on Legendary. So to me, it's just filler. Does it add to the lore? Does it add to the campaign? Does it add to Master Chief's story? Does it clarify like timeline holes? I don't know. I'm not gonna play the game, so somebody should tell me in the comments. But you know, this whole trailer to me is like, whatever. You know, we got all of our upscaling transitions and all of the, you know, it's like playing a God of War game now where like all the transition periods, and there's a word for it, I can't remember right now, cutscenes. It's like all the cutscenes are upscaled and it's the same shit. It just looks a little different. Like the production is a little bit different. But, you know, at the end of the day, the campaign evolved story has been established and it has been remastered once. So again, you're paying for not sloppy seconds, but sloppy thirds. Disgusting Microsoft AIDS-ridden sloppy thirds. Okay? So I don't know how many, like, I'm not totally against remakes in general, but I don't know how many times you can play the same remade game and continue to pay full price for it from a studio that has shown that the consumer's experience is not in their best intent. Okay? So that's enough on the campaign trailer, this new mission gameplay trailer. I mean, it's whatever, dude. Like, it's mid. It's, to me, it's just Halo again. Now, I'm not going to get too detailed on, you know, what we're looking at here. Obviously, elephant in the room, third person. There's no like immediate reaction in me that says this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I just don't understand it. Once again, this could be a case where there's some fucking genius AI, like some like the grave mind lives underneath Microsoft headquarters, right? And they were like, yo, you know what we need to propel Halo forward? Third person. Oh, like, to me, I don't know. It fucks the FOV up. It fucks your depth perception up. The animations around John look retarded. It looks like he is... I mean, it looks like a third-person action game. Like, this is actually Assassin's Creed Halo to me at this point, okay? I'm surprised he doesn't have, like, a hidden blade or some shit on his wrist. Because when you're in first person, the movement speed and the animation when you're walking or when you're watching a co-op partner play makes sense. In this, it looks like John is moving twice as fast as the Marines. Now, yes, obviously we all know the lore. Spartans are dummy fast, right? But in a game, you have to balance what is important, what is realistic, what honors the lore, and what this feels like is John just hit a big pot and he's sprinting around with a speed buff. Like, it feels like the gameplay flow is completely different than first-person shooter. Right? The animations look fine. It's a sprint animation. You know, but like this whole third-person action game bullshit, you know, I personally don't think it has a place in Halo, right? It just, like, even this running animation, dude, this looks like it came out of, like, Gears of War. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look like John is labored. It doesn't look like his armor has any sort of weight to it. It just seems like a guy running around in a green tracksuit. So, you know, whatever. The other thing is that when I look at these trailers, dude, I just see so much particle slop. And I don't know if maybe I'm delusional, but the amount of bullshit on the screen is getting old, okay? Just adding particles to the screen is not enhancing graphics experience. I just don't understand, you know, in the resources that you have to dedicate to doing that in the game, obviously it's gonna impact performance, right? Yeah, it's cool to see the plasma splashes, but do we really need to see, like, this whole, like, bullshit exploding off of John's armor and all that? Like, there's just so much going on the screen all the time. I'm not saying it's a bad direction to try to have realistic explosions, but at what point, like look at this. Like, half of my screen right now is status effects, dude. And, like, realistically, I think you could make the argument that the Spartan armor visors would have something in there to deal with combat flash, right? Something that would help John or any Spartan when they're visually impaired. Whether that's a tint, whether that's something that, like, AI tool that, like, looks at the flash and can predict what's behind. But even just, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of blur here, but look at how much status effects are on my fucking screen, dude. It just feels like they're taking, like, a slop fire hose and just spraying it all over the screen. It really doesn't have to be this complicated. And again, I'm getting back to my point about this feels like an engineering exercise. This feels like a tech demo. This feels like a dry run. And I feel like you are investing time into making each individual plasma shot explode and look pretty instead of making a good fucking game. And again, dude, it's just a campaign. $50 for 4 to 6 hours. And that leads me to what's probably going to be, like, my final point. Because I don't want to, I don't want to just sit here and watch the trailer with you guys. It is what it is, right? $50 for the same game we've played 3 times. Okay? 2 times. This will be the 3rd. For just co-op. Okay? For $20 more, you get 4 skins. $5 a skin. For what? To show them off offline? Right? Not really sure where the selling point is for that. But I saw something down here that really pissed me off, which is endless replayability with the optional skull modifiers. Now, I understand that they have to include this as part of the marketing because it is a feature to the game. But are we going to pretend that the majority of casual players are like, oh, dude, you know what? I have to go and do, like, Skull XYZ run. Oh, okay, now I have to go do like ABC run, and then 1-2-3 run, and then I'll do this, this, and this. No. People are not out here replaying the game over and over and over again. Like, your casual player is not doing that, okay? Most people are familiar with things like lasso runs, legendary all skulls on, grunt birthday party, and then probably some fringe, awareness of like the no HUD skulls and like the melee to get your shields back skull. But most people, I don't think, and I could be wrong, are well versed in the skull menu, especially because it differs from game to game. The only people that are going through, playing through every skull, doing all that shit, are speedrunners and people who like no life Halo. Like that's their main game. So at this point, I think this is a bigger slap in the face than Battlefield 6. And that is my only other video that I've put on my channel. And I did actually play Battlefield 6 a little bit. I don't think it's a good game, but I played it. It's fun sometimes. It is something to do. I really think that this is an engineering test. That's all I think that it is. I personally have no problem with this game going to PS5. I don't think Xbox has made a good case for Xbox exclusives for the last 5 to 10 years, and so I don't believe that they deserve to have that corner of the market. I think they need to earn that. I don't have a problem with this going to PS5. I think the more people that play Halo, the better, right? I played all the games, read all the books. I like the Halo games. I think, there's definitely bad ones. Halo 5 campaign was dog shit. Halo Infinite was fucking terrible. And I think that this, in a way, is the... like Halo Infinite was the open world... If Halo Infinite... Let me just rephrase this. If Halo Infinite had third person, you could not convince me that was not Assassin's Creed Halo. Because Halo Infinite was just an adventure action game. The story was terrible. The humanization of Master Chief is fucking weird, right? And it's not, I just don't think it's honest to what John's story should have been. I'd rather see more prequel type stuff like Halo Reach. Not that I'm nostalgia hogging on, like, I'm not trying to do backflips on Halo Reach, but like, I don't think that continuing John's story, and like the over-sexualization of Cortana, and then like the weird Freudian like relationship they had in the later games, like I just don't think that's cool, because you are sexualizing a relationship between a hero character and his AI girlfriend, who is based on his like adoption mother, who's obviously Halsey's like a schizophrenic scientist lady who, did what she had to do, right? I'm not here to debate lore, but like, so what? John is falling in love with Halsey? Like it conflicts. If your case is going to say John feels like he has to protect Halsey as a mother figure, then Cortana should be an extension of that, not her own entity that John falls in love with. So regardless, I don't even know if they remake Cortana and all that shit in here. I don't really give a fuck. I think the game is going to be completely fine. And I think at some point this might become the version of Halo that we get to play as campaign, or as Combat Evolved gets phased out with technology and time. But like it look, dude, she doesn't even look like Halsey. Like, this shit's embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an engineering test. I don't think you should spend the money on this. I think you should just go play the Master Chief Collection, because I think your value for money, what do you get with Master Chief? $40. $40, dude. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You get Campaign Evolved. You get 2. You get 3. You get ODST. You get Halo Reach. You get 4. You get multiplayer. You get Firefight. Do not get me wrong. The Master Chief Collection is a sad excuse for a port. It's a sad excuse for a hub. It sucks. from the perspective of this shit has been out since 2019. There are still chronic issues with it 7 years later, and I don't read the patch notes, but I play the game at least a couple times a year, and the shit is not getting any better. So buy this if you want to play Halo, right? The only reason I could see anybody buying the Halo Campaign Evolved game is if you are a PlayStation person. And in that case, I don't hold anything that I said to you against you. I think that you can man up and buy an Xbox on eBay and play the original games and play, and honestly, like if you want to play Halo that bad, the game is $50. It's a fucking ripoff. You are a third of the way to buying a used Xbox on eBay at $50. Save your money, buy the Master Chief Collection, play it there, or grow up and build a computer.